on Custom Works. You might have seen on Instagram the car has been painted, and that's a great place to see things a little bit ahead of the videos that we make. Yes, the car is painted, but that's going to be on next week's show. This week, let's get that Tonneau cover finished, let's get it covered in the fabric, let's get it on the car. Okay, so I've come inside because it's nice and clean. I've got the Tonneau truck in the workshop. The primer's drying at the minute. So I've come inside, and what I'm going to do is cover this Tonneau cover with the like leatherette stuff that we're going to cover it in. So first off, I'm going to give it a thorough de-dusting. So we've got this fabric now. It's like a very thin sort of leatherette stuff, made for Tonneau, perfectly good for outdoors. I've put it on, it's just wide enough. I'm just going to cut it to length, leaving a fair bit of slack so I can trim off later. Right, so first off what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some spray adhesive on the back of the fabric, ready to lay on. And what I'll do, put it on the back of the fabric, move it over there, then I'll spray this all on the polythene sheet we've put down, so the knack of the floor, and then I will lay it on, smooth it out, and then work on the corners. Okay then, so what I'm doing is I've spray glued all of this down with the spray contact adhesive. Round the edges though, what I'm going to go for is the, you know, like the brush on thicker contact adhesive, because over a big area spray contact adhesive is fine, but when you get to the smaller bits, maybe you want an edge, you don't ever want it to roll up. This is a moving part, don't forget as well. This can never come off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to brush on some of this. It takes a little bit longer, but it's a lot stronger. Right, I'm going to leave this for 5 minutes, and then I'll come back to it when it's fully dry, and then like boom, it's going to stick. First time, stay there forever. You know, sometimes using spray adhesive can really go against you. Next time you're at a car show, just check out how many cars have got, you know, things peeling up, things not going down well. Always use a brush on adhesive if you want to be sure. Always use it on the edges just to stick down. Even if, just like this, the main bit is done in spray adhesive, always just make sure your edges are glued down really well, because any bit of damp or a lot of heat will always peel that stuff back up. Okay then, so that side's done. Now it's time to do this side, and then I'll just do all around. And I've only just realised just how dark my house is. Very odd. Anyway, I shall feel on and get the job done. I didn't film all of this because the light in here is so bad. Like in the workshop there's a million lights, in here not so many. It's all wrapped, I've gone all the way round, and now what I'm going to do on these edges, so I'm going to mask down these two edges. I'm going to cover this edge in PU sealant, just so that if you look at this stuff, like this side's like plastic. This side has definitely got some thin fabric that gives it its sort of, you know, makes it stronger. Now that can wick up water and release the glue. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that edge is fully sealed, because when it rains, water's going to run off here and into those drainage channels that we made on the truck. So I'm going to get some masking. Let's get that done. I've masked it up along here, so I've masked just about 2 mil inside the actual sort of fabric there. And then what I'm going to do is put a smear of PU sealant all the way up there. So I'm just I'm smoothing it out just to make sure it's sort of, you know, I've got all of it, and also that I've got plenty on the edge. Right then, so this is still wet. Now if you ever do this, you mask and seal, you've got to take it off when it's wet, or else you're never going to get it off. So here we go. I'm going to take this off. Also, always have a bag ready to put this in, because the minute the tape comes off, it all like twirls up like a snake, and you're getting a right old mess. So I'm going to take this off, straight in the bag, and my apologies that we're still in like, what's this, Blair Witch mode or something. So here we go. And as you can see, as I take this off, you can't really see it all, but look, it's just a nice, just a black edge that seals that and comes around to there and just looks super tidy. And then you've got no exposed edge of the vinyl. Alright, so now we're in an era I like to call daytime, and there's a lot more light, so we can actually see now that we've got sort of leatherette stuff, thing of sealant, and then Raptor. So all nice, all sort of seamless, all sealed, and when the water's running down here into the gully that's going to sit there, nothing's ever going to get damaged, and this is going to stay looking good for years and years. This is the Tonneau truck's sort of, well, it would be the bed, but this is like, it's going to be the boot area, because obviously it's a Tonneau truck. It's got the Tonneau cover going over it. What I've used for the base of this, it's actually 18mm ply, and then I've just got this stuff that you put down on your workshop floor, whatever. Just clips together, looks a bit like black checker plate. Just I've laid that down as the base for this, and hopefully that will stop things, you know, just rattling around when you're driving along. Gives it a little bit of sponginess. Couple of black trims down the side, made this little trim for the fuel filler there. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm doing the drainage out of this drainage gutter. Now, how I see it, the water will run through. When the car accelerates, the water will slosh to the back and down here, and I think it's got a bit of fall to the back anyway. So this should work well. I've got this like flange thing that has, so it's going to have rubber seal, then the guttering, another rubber seal, and then this nut. So you've got flange, rubber seal, then there'll be the guttering, and then there'll be another rubber seal, then the nut, and that holds that all together. What I've had to do to get that piece of pipe that I can fit in there, I've bonded this piece of copper microbore into there, and I can Jubilee clip up to that, and that should give me a nice watertight seal and wait for the water to get out of there. So let's get this fitted in. What I'm going to do, just on the flanges, I'm going to put a little bit of PU sealant just to make sure that all of that seals together, because we don't ever want to get any wet in the back of the thing. In fact, I've put so much PU sealer on there, I'm going to go in without the washer. So that goes on. Oh, that's bedded down lovely. And then on with the other bits from the underside. So the final piece of this sort of drainage channel, what we've done, we've put this flanged mount here. Water can come down there, drain down there, goes through here, and then this piece of pipe we bonded in to this plumbing fitting a piece of copper microbore that then fitted this rubber pipe on. The rubber pipe goes through the pickup bed floor and out, and just drops the water onto the road, and that's it, keeping all your cool stuff in here totally dry. So that's gone pretty well. A little bit of ingenuity, and also all of these fittings I just had knocking about in the shed. Any plumbing fittings you ever find or anything, never throw them away, keep them all in a box, and one day you've just got to connect this to this to this, and you'll have enough bits to do it. That's what I did. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put on the seal, should I say. This seal stuff, which is just standard boot seal. Difference between boot seal and door seal. Boot seal's like this with the round squishy bit and then the grippy bit on the bottom, whereas a door seal would have this on the side and that sticking out. So yeah, door seal's like at a 90-degree angle to this. But this is going to go all the way around here, and it's just going to clip on there nicely. And then when the tonneau shuts, it will shut down onto there and seal it really nice. All masked up at the minute, and it will remain masked up because tomorrow I'm having Dave Lathe round. He's going to do some wiring on the truck, and also he's going to help me lift that big tonneau cover on here, and we'll get it fixed in and get all of that working. But if you've took something on and off when the car's in primer, and it was quite difficult, once the car's painted, always mask up, do everything you can that you're not going to damage the paint. And if you've got to get someone round to help you, you've got to get someone round to help you. You know, we took this cover off over and over again when it was in primer, and it didn't really matter because you scratch the primer, who cares? Now it's painted, we've got to go in there with it. It's a one-time thing, screwed in, fitted, and that's it. Okay then, so let's get this boot seal on. All there is to do now is to put the tonneau cover on, and we'll be doing that tomorrow when the legend that is Dave Lathe is here, and we can, all three of us, lift in position and not damage any paintwork. We'll get that in, we'll get the linear actuators on, get that all wired up, and boom, on the remote control. It's going to be so cool. Okay then, so here it is, lovely finished, covered, secure tonneau cover. Rest of the car's still messed up though, because we're just doing the final sort of assembly on this, and we don't want to mark the paint. all that's coming up next week. But this, really pleased with, looks really good. Going to keep all the stuff underneath it is always going to be safe, and no one's just going to walk by and steal it. And also, just adds a nice clean line to the truck. Job done. Okay, so that's it for this time. Join us next time when we're going to be sorting out all the little bits and bobs, doing the paint on the car, and hopefully we might even get it in for an MOT. Until next time, thank you very much and good night.